welcome to Raise Sensation. I'm your host, Dan, and today we'll be looking at Ray Harryhausen, Master of the Majicks, Volume 3, The British Films, by Mike Hankin. And in this volume, which covers, it's the third of three, these are his final films. They've subtitled The British Films, and it covers The Three Worlds of Gulliver, Mysterious Island, Jason and the Argonauts, First Men on the Moon, 1 Million Years BC, The Valley of Gwangi, The Golden Voyage of Sinbad, Sinbad and the Eye of the Tiger, and Clash of the Titans. So that's a lot of stuff. So let me just give you an idea about what kind of stuff is covered in here. This book came out in 2010 and was sold out almost immediately. They didn't make much more than people pre-ordered. So it's not that easy to find this series. So Ray Harryhausen was huge for me when I was younger, and pretty much throughout my life. I still love to watch a Ray Harryhausen film. After King Kong, which is absolutely my favorite film of all time, the original 1933 King Kong and the Willis O'Brien special effects. Ray Harryhausen's films, that was it. They had dinosaurs, they had monsters, and the monsters, what I like about these, about King Kong and about these films is there are monsters. Because he gives them such life and such character, we're sad when the creatures are killed. But it's not because they go ice skating in Central Park or something, like in the King Kong remake. They act like monsters or big animals at least, and they are sometimes savage and sometimes not. And he doesn't give them a lot of human characteristics to make them so that we'll cry a tear for him. He trusts us to know what we should be feeling a little bit better than some other films. Like in the original King Kong, you're not really given a reason to like Kong, except that we know he's been treated unfairly. And we should have just left him alone on the island. We being the people who want to see him and bring him back to New York and stuff. So we feel sad for him. He doesn't have to be a great creature with all these, I won't go off on that tangent. So the thing is that The Three Worlds of Gulliver, or the first film in here, it's not really, this one has a lot of special effects. It has two animated animals in it, both of which are, one's a regular squirrel, but Ray wanted him to do some things, so he animated it. And one is supposed to be a dwarf crocodile that the character has to fight, because it's Gulliver and he's in the land of giants, and so the dwarf crocodile is big. But it really is not the usual Ray Harryhausen monster spectacular. These books, there's the squirrel. It's actually a pretty good squirrel, but it has the usual kind of fluttering that these early stop motion films have. So that's a little distracting, but here's these books are packed with behind the scenes photographs. During his lifetime, Ray Harryhausen guarded his secrets. He didn't talk about how he made his films very much. One, he wanted to save his most spectacular tricks for himself and not let other people know, which some people think that was rude of him, but he was doing what he thought was best at the time. But the other thing is, he really genuinely thought that if people knew how he did it so much, they wouldn't be quite as into the movie, which I didn't find that to be true when I was a kid. Learning how they made the movies did not lessen the impact of my feeling, because if it was a good movie, I would get lost in it, whether I knew how special effects were done or not. you know, they've got they cover the actors and actresses who are in all the films, all the behind the scenes stuff. They have a lot of information about the financial end of it. Did it make money? Where did it make money? That kind of thing. It's got a lot of. It's got so much detail. It's, you know, it reminds me a lot of if any of you are familiar with the Little Shop of Horrors, and when they do an entire issue of their magazine on one Hammer film, it's got that kind of attention to detail and stuff. And each of these chapters is almost as big as one of those magazines. So it's a really, really fun kind of thing. Like I said, the Three Worlds of Gulliver is one of the short ones because there wasn't that much in the way of creatures, and that's what they're really covering in this. Then there's the Mysterious Island. Again, there's storyboards, pre-production artwork, pictures of the cast. You know, there they are on location. They also have pictures of the cast when they were not on location, you know, in Spain or wherever they were on these things. There's a call sheet. There's a big, behind them, there's a big list, big showing of storyboards. Nice pictures of the crab model. Terrific. You know, so there's, like I said, when I was a kid, I would have absolutely gone insane. You know, the best book I had on Ray Harryhausen when I was a kid was his own film fantasy scrapbook, which had almost nothing behind the scenes wise. It did have some of these pre-production artwork in it, and it did have pictures from the movies, but you know, it wasn't anything like this. I mean, these are just tremendous books. Again, it's interesting to see some of these models. Posters from around the world. I don't want to take too long on this. Here's Jason the Argonauts. You know, a lot of people consider this Ray's masterpiece. And while I do like a bunch of the set pieces, you know, it's not my absolute favorite. You know, again, lots of shots there of locations. And now here he gives a couple pages to each of the stop motion things. There's the giant statue talus. Great pictures there. That shows you putting together a shot using mats. You know, that's the thing about the DVDs nowadays, and you know, a high def. I haven't seen any of his films yet in the on a ultra high def disc, but I bet when they start coming out, it really shows when they composite these things. Many times there would be a slight color line. I think those faults show so much more the more high definition we get in our home video. Stuff that never showed up or rarely showed up when you watched it on TV or on video, or even the first DVDs showed a little bit of it, but you know, yeah, it shows a lot more now. So just an incredible amount of stuff. The Hydra, another great monster. They talk about the complexity of the skeleton fight and what it took to choreograph, you know, 7 skeletons and the 3 fighters, Jason and his 2 shipmates. Putting together the titles. Again, lots of promotional stuff is in here. Wonderful stuff. This is First Men on the Moon. When I first saw this one, I was disappointed as soon as I realized, oh, not all the insect people they meet in the moon are going to be stop motion. They have, I think they were kids, if I remember, kids in these suits. And so that was a little disappointing, but they saved the main parts for the animated Moon Men. There's the Moon Cow. Again, lots and lots of behind the scenes stuff. Lots more posters. As many posters are in these. There is also a poster book out that's just posters from around the world for the Ray Harryhausen films. I think there might be some in that book that aren't in this, but I'm not sure about that. And then here's, gosh, Dinosaurs. I love Dinosaurs. The only way to do Dinosaurs was stop motion for me as a kid. People in suits, lizards with stuff glued to them. All that stuff was, phony. To me, this was Dinosaurs. And this is a big chapter. They have a lot on Raquel Welch, who was a big part of the success of this movie. It was one of Ray Harryhausen's most successful films, and that was because of the marketing with the fur bikini and stuff a lot. This is another one where I really felt a misstep because it's really drugged me out of the film. The fact that the first dinosaur you see is played by a giant lizard. They give. I've heard several different reasons over the years, including the one in here. They just said these. It was to contrast what it used to be with this and that. I don't know if I buy it all. This is great. There's the storyboard for a brontosaurus scene that they didn't end up filming. You see the brontosaurus in passing in the movie, but he doesn't get to do this fun looking scene there. I think they kind of were running out of money and time, and this was going to be filmed near the end, and so they cut that part. The giant sea turtle, which it's fun to have a monster that's more like just in the way than the Allosaurus attack. One of on the caveman's camp, one of the most exciting scenes he ever made. Pterodactyls, again, lots of behind the scenes stuff around the world, lots of promo stuff with Raquel Welch was done. Lots of stuff. This is the first Ray Harryhausen. I went to see this at a matinee. It's the first Ray Harryhausen film I saw in the theater, and it blew me. It was Ray Harryhausen. It was Dinosaurs. The movie was a big flop. I think that's, there weren't many opportunities to see movies at the theater in my hometown growing up. You basically went to the drive-in. This did not play the drive-in, I don't think. It's for, and because it hadn't been a hit, it very quickly was making the rounds as a matinee. I think it was, which was basically considered a kids kind of thing. These weekend matinees were cheap, bring the family kind of things. And this is a family-friendly movie. The stop motion in this is spectacular. There's one thing that happens in this movie that really kind of ticks me off, and that is there's the cowboys. It's about I'm kind of assuming most of you are familiar with these movies, and that might be wrong. But these cowboys for a sideshow, Western sideshow kind of thing, are go on a little rescue mission, and they end up in a hidden valley. But they know they're going off to rescue someone, but they don't take. They all rush out without getting real ammunition for their gun. They all bother to get their guns, but they still have the blanks in from the show. Every single one of them. So they're in a valley with dinosaurs, and they're shooting blanks at them. And it's just kind of, I don't want the dinosaurs to get shot and have the movie be over too quick, but and there's a fantastic entrance for Guanji too. It's a terrific movie if you haven't seen it. Again, tons of behind the scenes stuff. Lots of shots there. Pictures inside the church, at the cathedral where the finale is filmed. And then here's the Golden Voyage of Sinbad. These are produced a little darker than usual. I think I've seen those reproduced a little better. I would say for the most part, this is the reproductions are pretty spot on. So again, Callie, with her 6 arms. There's the Centaur model looking a little worse for wear over the years. Oh, and that's when I saw the, so I saw this and I saw this pretty close to the same time, because they talk about how they re-released Seventh Voyage of Sinbad to cash in on the fact that Golden Voyage was doing well. So there's that. This is the Sinbad. Oh, I kind of flipped by the beginning of that. Sinbad in the Eye of the Tiger. There he is with some of the monsters from the film. There he is showing the relative height of the different creatures. These are little demonish creatures that attack him. There's a troglodyte, a minotaur type statue that the villain's got to do his dirty work. Terrific. And then, you know, it ends up with Clash of the Titans, which did really, really well for him. It was a good way to end his career. This particular set getting crushed was not one of the better ones. You know, it's tough. It's tough to destroy miniatures with water, because it just, the drops of water, the water just never looks right. A lot of great characters in this. This part about, this is one of Ray's best scenes, the Medusa. And they've got some really great, you know, storyboards. And there's the model. I mean, that's a great scene. So there's stuff promoting Clash of the Titans, and then there's some other things there. Anyway, that's a quick look at that. I hope I went fast enough that you didn't get bored. I could look at this kind of stuff for a good long time, but I'll, as I pull them out of storage, I'll do volume 1 and volume 2. Okay? Have a good day.